You're a very busy guy and a traveling man. We've done interviews with you consistently from California, recently in Idaho. You've gone to Arizona over the last little while. Where are you right now?
Yeah, I'm back in Utah. I'm at Stroh Performance. The best gym I think you can go to. I really enjoy working out with these guys. They're awesome. I'm actually mid-workout right now, so I figured I'd slide in and get the interview knocked out in between one of my sets. So,
how's the workout going?
Oh, it's exciting. Upper body pump is always the best day. We don't love the leg days, but the upper body's great.
Okay. Well, hopefully you've caught your breath, and we'll go here. We're 9 days away from the NFL draft. How would you explain the range of emotions you are feeling as you look ahead to one of the biggest days of your life?
Well, so exciting, right? I mean, this is such a surreal feeling. The draft isn't even here yet, and my life has already changed so much. I'm able to go and do these fun things, go to these different events, things I wouldn't have been able to do in college. And I'm honestly just having a blast. There's a lot of distractions, and I got to make sure I get in what I gotta do to keep playing at an elite level. But I'm having a blast. All of this stuff is a dream come true, seriously.
This would have been finals week, so that juxtaposition is kind of nice, right?
Right? Oh, man. Thinking it's finals week. I mean, I'm a lucky guy to not have to be studying for finals right now.
That makes three of us. So we've seen different, sponsorships come out. Nike football this morning. Congrats on that. That's big time, being able to be with Nike. We love Nike at BYU. We've seen Chipotle. We've seen some teeth whitening. What am I missing, Zach?
Oh, there's a whole bunch coming. I mean, you're going to have to check out. It's going to be all over the social media channel soon. But, the marketing stuff I'm excited for. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I love partnering up with some of these brands. I mean, they're awesome. I get a lot of cool stuff from them, but it's also cool to be represented by somebody, that I want to be have a good relationship with. So it's a great opportunity. I'm super excited to represent some of these awesome brands.
What's the most obscure thing or thing that's been presented to you that you were like, oh, I'll have to think about that?
Yeah, well, at first, so I got offered to do a deal for pre-draft stuff by this company called Active Environmental, pest control company based out of Provo. It was a one-off deal, and my marketing agency ended up turning it into a 3-4 year deal. I don't know if they've announced it completely yet, but what an awesome partnership. I'm super excited for those guys. And you would think, pest control, what am I doing with pest control? But what an awesome business to be a part of, right?
You're just getting rid of those pesky awesome, defenders.
Right. But the relationships, the relationships I built with those guys is awesome. I mean, the company is growing. In the next couple of years, they're going to be huge. I mean, they're going to be a big time company. And so I'm honored to be partnered up with those guys. I'm not sure if they've announced it yet, but I mean, they've done Tony Finau as well. They've got his golf bag says Active across it. So, what a cool sponsorship to be with those guys, a random one that I didn't think would happen, but super exciting.
Is it weird to think you're going to be more popular than Tony Finau next week?
That's not true. I won't be more popular than Tony Finau. Yeah,
dude, you're going to be the second pick in the NFL draft, bro.
Yeah, he's a professional golfer that dominates. So he's got a pretty good gig.
Zach Wilson with us on BYU Sports Nation, 9 days away from the NFL draft. Zach, you mentioned that your life has changed so much over the last few months. So let's kind of go down that path a little bit more. Essentially, from the time the bowl game finished to now, latter part of April, a 4-month period, how has your life changed the most?
Yeah, well, you got people pulling you in every single direction. I think that's, the craziest thing. It's one person asking you to help them out with this. And, can you come to this? Can you do this? Can you send me to this? Can you speak to these people? Every single day there's something new. And then, then there's a lot of pluses. I have people inviting me to cool events. I was able to go to Steve Young's charity event this past weekend and how awesome that was to spend time with him and some other former BYU legends and some of those quarterbacks. And, I had a great time. I wouldn't be able to do that stuff if I was still at BYU. So, there's definitely positives and negatives to the whole thing, but I just have to be able to cycle through, make sure I get the priorities in first, but there's pulling in every direction. So I just got to make sure I handle my business.
What did Steve and some of those legends from BYU tell you as a year ago? We weren't thinking, hey, Zach's going to jump into that fold, but here we are, man.
Yeah, really, it was you got to get better at golf. I mean, that was the first thing. My golf game is terrible. So if you're going to be a quarterback, you got to be a better golfer.
That's hilarious.
Oh, so funny. Zach Wilson on BYU Sports Nation. When your focus becomes football 24/7, you obviously have a great opportunity to grow in the game and, like you said, hang around a lot of great minds. How have you, I guess, grown the most? Has it been more physically or more mentally over the past few months?
Yeah, well, it's a little bit of everything. I worked a lot on both. But really, it's understanding the NFL game. What it takes, the film study of understanding defenses, how it's different from college, and then obviously scheme wise, it's going to be a lot different as well. Once I get to installing whatever offense, from whatever team drafts me, it's going to be exciting because it's going to be a lot different than college, and it's going to be a learning curve. But it's going to be something I'm excited for.
QB 21 airing with you and Kirk Herbstreit. What did we learn about you? What was that conversation like with Kirk?
Yeah, really just trying to give him a little bit of my personality, who I am. I'm a family guy. I got a small circle of good friends and, somebody that comes from a big family, somebody that's, super grateful to be in this position and very humbled and willing to do whatever it takes to get to the next level. I'm super excited for what the future has to offer. And I kind of wanted just to dip into my life a little bit. And so it was a great conversation with him, kind of what things make me tick as a football player. What a great guy he is. And so it was cool to, we watched a little bit of film. We had, some surprise interview in the middle of the segment as well. And so it was a great interview with him.
Who was it with, Zach? I can't wait to watch it tonight.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to watch.
Oh, come on, man.
Come on, man. I know it airs later, but I want you anxious to watch it.
We're dialed in, that's for sure.
Deal.
Let's rewind a little bit more. You were talking about, kind of just your path. And I'm sure you went down that with Kirk Herbstreit, the ups and the downs. How did your decision to attend BYU impact your position as a top NFL draft prospect today?
Well, it's crazy. You go back to high school and you wish you could play out every situation of every college and what the future is going to be like for you. It's a risk anywhere you go. And I think for me, it was a risk to go to BYU, 419, a team that some say have struggled in recruiting, who, haven't done well leading up to this point. And so it was a risk. It was a risk for me to go there, but, it worked out. It was awesome. I had an amazing experience. And I don't think, things would be going this well unless I went to BYU. I had such an amazing support staff, at BYU with the people that helped me get to where I'm at, such amazing teammates, guys that dedicated everything they had to make sure that we were successful. And then being close to home was awesome as well. I got to have the support system, my family just down the road. So, it's so awesome for me how it worked out, how I had the ability to play as a freshman and play as a sophomore and start something new, having that new offensive staff come in and be part of something new was awesome.
I want to rewind back to the end of the 2019 season. And we've talked about that offseason a lot, and it's been well documented. But specifically, that throw that didn't get to Micah Simon to end the bowl game, and the juxtaposition of that with the throws that you made, during this past season. Emotionally, from that point, how did you pick yourself up to make sure I'm not going to miss that throw? I'm just not going to miss hardly any throws during this next season.
Yeah, well, what's so crazy is the anger I had after that sophomore season was so high, and I think it was really on myself. I didn't blame anybody but myself. I could have played better, could have done better. I was frustrated in how my shoulder felt, and I was frustrated in just my recovery process. But I knew it was a journey. I knew I was going to keep developing and getting better, and so I knew it was just going to be a process. And so really, I think what a great experience that was for me because I experienced the highest of highs after my freshman year and the lowest of lows of my sophomore season. So not a lot of college guys can say that. A lot of them have been at winning programs since their freshman year, and they're in the national championship every single year. So I think it's such a benefit for me that I know what it's like, to be on the low end of things because, it's going to happen in the NFL. I'm going to hit some adversity and it's going to be tough. And I feel like I know how to handle it now, just be able to put my head down and grind, not care what anybody else says. And so I think it was such a great experience for me because, I learned a lot, going through that whole season.
How'd you turn that emotion that you described as anger into something that helped you become the quarterback that's going to yield a top 5 pick?
Yeah, it was just that motivation, that chip on your shoulder, just like everybody says. Every single day I was just thinking about the way I felt after that season or after losing a game or not playing as good as I wanted to. I just remembered what that felt like. And every single day I went to work and I was like, hey, I don't really want to do this. I don't want to do that. I just remembered what that all felt like, and it made it easy for me to just grind and put my head down. And so now when I'm in a situation where, things are great and everyone's telling me how great I am all the time, I have to go back a little bit and remember what that felt like, to feel like crap after a game and to not play well. I have to remember what that felt like to just stay motivated, because, I haven't done anything yet. It was one good year, and we got so many good years ahead. So I got to just keep doing the same thing.
Well, that's where your dad, Mike, comes into play, right?
Exactly. Mike is great at that role.
and you wear the wristband that says, prove them wrong. Do you go back and watch any of these plays, or you just recall those feelings?
Yeah, I go back and watch them a lot. I always do an analysis after the season. I'll go back, and even now, now that I'm a year or so ahead of my sophomore season, quite a bit ahead, I'll even go back and just be like, okay, now that my perspective of that quarterback has switched, I can go back and watch that stuff and just even think, what would have been the smarter play in this situation? What should I have done here? And there's still so many opportunities I can learn from of those experiences that I went through in every single year that I played. And so those were so good for me, because every single year, you pick up so many good learning points.
Zach Wilson on BYU Sports Nation. Obviously, your health and physical state are at the utmost importance to all of these teams that are looking at you, specifically the New York Jets and the San Francisco 49ers. So I'm sure you've been asked this question a million times by those teams, but how would you describe your overall health with your shoulder, the left and right labrums, your thumb, your hamstring, and so on and so forth?
Yeah, 100%. I feel awesome. It's like availability is the number one key to playing the position the right way. And I feel like I've done a better job of understanding, how the recovery stuff works, the ability to slide in games. I still definitely could have done a better job last year, but the ability to take care of yourself and avoid dumb hits. So I was able to come out healthy, and, the few little dings and dents that I got from last season, I kind of got rid of pretty quick. And so I feel great, and I'm 100%. I feel good, and I'm ready to go into camp of whatever team picks me up.
Let's talk about your relationship with John Beck. So obviously he's the guy that has Beck to Harline, and you're a kid on the other side of that rooting for Utah at the time. So what did you first think of him, and how has that relationship flourished?
Yeah, I had no idea. When I first met John in college, my freshman year, I was like, wow, you're the guy that threw that pass? Like, you're old now. Like, how long ago was that, So, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how fast time flies, because I remember when he was playing. I remember that game, like it was yesterday. And like I always say, when I was that age, if someone would have told me, hey, that dude out there on the field is going to be your quarterback coach and one of your best friends, and you're going to be a quarterback for BYU, I wouldn't believe any of it. It's so crazy how life takes you on these crazy journeys. And so it's been amazing, and I've loved working with him, and he's made me such a better player. And I'm excited to keep working with him, for the rest of my career.
He is just an old man, though. Let's get that right.
We were in school with him, so we are subsequently also old.
We're also there. It says, Jamal Williams called us. We're just a bunch of middle-aged vanilla men. So there we go. Zach, thanks for the time, man. So excited for you. 9 days away from the draft. We wish you good luck. Stay healthy, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
Zach